Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Bryce Haugeberg of Fast Track Racing. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, so for people that do not know, Bryce was behind the wheel of the 12 in the ARCA Series race at Springfield on Sunday. Of course, he was also involved in a very scary incident where he literally went over. We've heard a lot of people's side of the story from the winner, and also we just talked to Buddy Kofoid. Well, that interview will be posted very soon along with this one, but we have not heard your side of the story yet. Can you just kind of explain what exactly happened from your perspective?
So I feel like we were having a really solid race throughout the race, just logging laps in, and with about, I think it was the white flag lap, I blew a tire coming out of 4, and I immediately lost control of the car. I did my best to keep it out of the racing groove. I had radioed in and I told my spotter that I had blown a tire and there's a tire down, and he had radioed back and said the leaders are about 10 back, they're coming up behind you. And I knew Springfield is a bottom feeding dominant track. So I did my best to not wash across the track since I was already up high after blowing the tire. And I did my best to keep the car against the wall because I had in mind that the leaders were right behind me and I didn't want to wash in front of them. So I feel I did all I could to prevent that sort of situation, but it occurred anyways. But
I gotta ask you, what was that like? The impact of the car coming into you. Was that the hardest hit that you've had?
that is by far the hardest hit I've ever taken. I've driven sprint cars for 4 years and I've never flipped. So my first flip, I did not think would come from an ARCA car, but it did. So it was pretty scary.
Yeah, anytime that you talk to a driver that's upside down, I've never actually asked this to anybody, but what was it like being just there? Like upside, I don't know if you got fully upside down.
Yeah. I got hit so hard. It all happened so fast. It was just a blur, really. I felt my butt lift off the seat, and that feeling alone, I knew I was in the air and upside down, and I closed my eyes and went along for the ride. And when I opened them, I was staring at the ground. So just did not think I did not really think I was upside down at that point. But when I opened my eyes and saw the ground, I was like, that's not good.
Yeah, for sure. And you assured me before the recording you're okay and all that.
Yeah,
just
no injuries at all. No, just a little sore afterwards.
All right, and of course you're going to be in the car in Milwaukee next week. This actually coming week. So, how exciting is it to be there? And I've obviously have some more questions for you too.
I'm pretty excited. I know short tracks have been our best tracks so far this year, and we seem to be improving every short track race we go to. So I'm excited to go back to Milwaukee, and I hope to redeem myself and get a solid finish that's better than Springfield was.
Yeah. What was it like just driving out there in Springfield? Could you see anything really?
No, you couldn't see anything. And that's why I don't blame Buddy at all for the incident. I feel horrible for both of us. He had a really good, solid debut in the ARCA Series, and the track conditions were horrible. So I knew when I was following Ken Trader, I couldn't see his car 5 feet in front of mine. So I know Buddy couldn't see me.
Yeah. Okay. So for a lot of people that one of the other reasons why I wanted to get you on is because I don't think this is like the one thing that people might know you for, but there's a lot of other things that are out there about you. You're young, you're 19, you're from, I believe, North Dakota. So
North Dakota.
Talk about how you got your start in racing.
Well, I started racing go-karts when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
And go-kart racing was huge around here. And that's where kind of people get their foot in the door. So that's where I started. And go-karts took me a long ways. I started sprint cars just 4 years ago. And dirt tracks, that's all that's around here. So dirt racing is our life in North Dakota, really. So sprint cars is all I know. And we got a chance to meet Andy Hillenberg at Fast Track Racing last year, I believe, and he gave me my first opportunity to race an ARCA car.
What was that? I mean, what was that like for you to just be out there? I mean, not a lot of money. You want to chase a dream. You want to do this as a career. I think, right?
Yeah. I mean,
what was that like to get that first chance? I mean, all you need is someone to believe in you.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And ever since that first day, I've always told everybody, take any opportunity given to you. It'll either work out or it won't. So when I got my first opportunity, I was beyond grateful for it. I've had a lot of people, a lot of friends and family that have supported me and my childhood dream ever since I was 8 years old. So when I got that first opportunity, it was life-changing, and it really opens your eyes to what you can achieve as your dreams from being a little kid.
So where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing? Is there other racing opportunities you want to take? Is it in the the NASCAR route seems to be the route that you want to go?
Yeah.
Where do you plan to race in ARCA more often? Are you ready to? Do you think you're ready to take that next step?
I don't know. I think just right now, being a family-owned, low-budget team, I think seat time is really the most important thing for me right now. Just getting laps and experience and waiting for an opportunity for me and waiting for that somebody to see who I am.
And you're only 19 years old.
Yep.
I mean, you still got a lot of life ahead of you. I mean, a year ago, you probably just graduated you graduated high school last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. I just graduated high school. My first class of college was yesterday.
Wow. That's amazing. Where are you going to college?
North Dakota State University.
That's awesome. I always ask any person that wants to go to any person that's in college, what do you want to go into? What do you want to study? Or you just
I'm going for mechanical engineering.
Nice.
I hope to use that if I can't race in the future, which is it's my dream to be a racer. But if I can't, I've always wanted to be involved in it in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
So I want to go for a degree to hopefully in the future be able to work on race cars at the very least.
Yeah. What's it just like growing up in, North Dakota and stuff? I mean, I got some friends in Minnesota. So what was that like growing up there?
I mean, I love it here. Just it's the small town country feel.
Yeah.
You get to know everybody, you're friends with everybody. Everyone around you starts to become family, and it's just fun. I love the small town feel of growing up around here, and you build relationships, especially at the dirt tracks, that you couldn't even think of.
For sure. So what are your plans for the rest of this year? I know you're going to run the race in Milwaukee this weekend, which is not too far away from you. Only a couple states over in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What is the plan the rest of the year?
After Springfield and losing our car, we'll go to Milwaukee. I'll be driving one of Andy Hillenberg's cars this time.
Yeah.
And after Milwaukee, we'll see where the road takes us.
Do you want to do more races?
Yeah, definitely. I want to race as much as I can and as much as we can afford to. Yeah. But this whole year we haven't had a set schedule. We've ran what we can and what we can afford to. So we'll see where the road goes.
Yeah. Outside of racing, what do you like to do?
I'm an outdoors person. If I'm not at the racetrack, me and my buddies we're hunting or fishing or doing something outside.
No, yeah, North Dakota's. When you're in North Dakota, it's always an advantage to do that. So
yeah.
Yeah. Also, what's something, okay, name 3 things people might not know about you.
Ooh, that's hard on the spot. Um,
Oh,
Gosh, I don't know. 3 things people don't know about me. I would say I race NASCAR because no one knows about that from around here, but um,
yeah. Well, it's interesting.
yeah, I played baseball and football.
Okay.
I loved those sports as a kid, but once I started taking racing seriously, I had to kind of step away from that.
Yeah.
Um, I have a younger brother that he races sprint cars.
Yeah.
He's 16 years old.
Do you think he wants to take the stock car route like you?
I don't know. My brother doesn't really show the interest in taking it as seriously as I do, but
Yeah.
I think he more so does it around here for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And gosh, I don't know. We really just we take a bunch of my family and friends and we just drive to all these tracks. I mean, I feel like all these other drivers they hop on a plane and go to the track, but each race we go to, we kind of make a trip out of it with
That's a
family from around here.
that's a big trip for you, Bryce, because there's a lot of tracks. Yes, some are close by, like Elko and
Yeah.
Milwaukee, but some are pretty far away.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah. So
what is the farthest that you've driven?
Kansas City. We've driven to Kansas City. We drove to IRP,
Okay.
and after about, if it reaches the 13-hour mark, we try to find a flight. But
Yeah, the 12, yeah, usually the 12-hour mark is always the rule of thumb.
yeah,
Or find a hotel and then just do the driving the next day, because
yeah,
I don't know if you've seen flights lately. It's
yeah, they're crazy,
oh,
and you can't really trust flights right now. So
absolutely. So, what's it gonna, going to Milwaukee? Have you been there?
I have not been to Milwaukee. No.
Oh, okay. So, what's it going to be like to go there to a place where you really haven't been to?
Well, that's kind of been the case for most of the tracks this year. Each track I've shown up to, I haven't been to yet because I mean, this stock car stuff it's brand new to me. So each track I learn, I try to take practice as seriously as we can. Um, get laps, important laps. I try to give as much feedback to my team as I can, and then we start the race just learning, and we hope to be there at the end. And sometimes we can pull off a good finish, and sometimes it takes the whole race to learn. But going back next year, hopefully we'll improve our positions at each track.
All right. Well, Bryce Haugeberg, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and good luck this weekend in Milwaukee.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.